incredible week. Let me stand back here. And we are going to go now. Good morning. This is a summary of the week on the growth mindset. I appreciate every single one of you showing up here this morning. Here we're live there. Let's just share this in a couple of places and then we're good to go. We're good to go in summarizing what I believe is such an important part of what we're all doing all over the world. And we have a choice. Every single day, you guys have a choice as to how you live your life, how you think, how you feel. And sometimes it can be quite hard to make a good choice. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is just to make a choice very similar to the choices that you've made before in the past. So good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. Good morning. Let's just give a few shout outs here to all of you incredibly loyal people to yourself. You know, loyalty, they say charity begins at home. I think loyalty begins at home. Good morning, Kate Caruth. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. I really enjoy being able to show your faces or to show your avatars. Good morning, Leslie. Thank you, Melissa in Hawaii. Isn't that great? All these people turning up. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning to you all. Thank you so much. And I'm going to really get on with delivering this content to you because I believe what I'm about to share with you is some of the most important information that you'll ever hear in your life. You know, one of the things that I do every day is I have my rituals. You know, I have to do some things. And sometimes doing those things, I don't often feel like it. But many of you know one of the key things we say with My 365 is what has feeling like got to do with it? You know, with anything that you want to achieve in your life, what do you think feeling like it has got to do with it? And this is where, by the way, you can see I'm unshaven. This is growth. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. Growth is happening. Change is happening. But when you choose to adopt a growth mindset, you put yourself into a place sometimes of vulnerability, because to grow often means to fall, because when you fall, you have an opportunity to get back up. The way I liken it to is, you know, the daffodils that are out right now, which is those of you that are not in Great Britain, you might not know what a daffodil is, but it's a flower that comes out at a certain time of year. Every year it comes out, it's there for a few weeks, and then, you know, it germinates and it goes, and then next year it comes back up again. And it's not always easy for nature. It's not always easy for us. So when you choose that real mindset of, you know what, I want to grow, I want to achieve something. You see, the reality is for most of us is that we have created a world where it's just easy not to grow. It's easy to stagnate. It's easy to just push people down and just exist. This is how many people are. They're just existing. They're just surviving, you know, just not thriving. But my goal is to help many of you thrive, to create an unbelievable life. But if that's what you want, there's a key word here, which is called work. You know, you're going to have to work for it. And if you have big goals and big dreams and big ambitions, you're going to have to work for it. So what I would love to be able to do, New Jersey in the house, Paul has joined us this morning. We are global. We are most definitely global. Please, guys, share this information. Yesterday we had about 32 people. You were very kind enough, bottom left-hand corner if you're on Facebook. You share this information. You got this information out there. So this is the summary of the week. And normally I don't really look at my notes, but, you know, when we're summarizing, it's important to give you the information because I want you to summarize. I want you to think about, this is one of the things we say with My 365, the world is your school, right? This is your school. And every day is your classroom. So you're choosing what you're learning. And many of you have invested your time this week and listened to the 10 or 15 minutes that we do every single day. You can just write things down or listen, but I want you to act on what we're saying. This is really the key. Growth is when you act. So a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset believes everything is fixed in stone. This is who I am. This is how things are always going to be. And, you know, I can't really do very much about changing. And many years ago, people used to think that. We used to think that your brain is, if you're talented, you're talented. If you're not, you're not. I choose not to believe that. Show me some hearts. Show me something right now. If you're someone who's just, I don't believe that. I believe there's more to me than meets the eye. But in order for that to manifest, in order for that to come out, there's a few key ingredients. A growth mindset is a desire to grow, a desire to learn. It's when you make that decision. And I asked many of you this week to choose that decision. And something which is so important to understand this is mastery. We live in a world right now where people just are not interested in mastery. And I want you to think about today, as you summarize your week, and you think about what have you learned, what have you achieved, and what are you going to do with this information? This is the question I want you to really ask yourself. What in your life do you want to master? Because mastery is it's really kind of shied upon. And what I would love to know from all of you is, what are you doing when no one's watching in terms of your mastery? You see, we want everything instant shopping, instant banking, instant coffee, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, as many of you know. Instant information. We just want everything now. Give it to me now, give it to me now. Rather than, no. You've got to work at it. And we're sold this dream that you can have everything now. Instant credit, instant everything, instant life. Change your life in 1 minute. Many of you know I've been here now for way over nearly, 20 months, 21 months, 22 months, every single day showing up. This is hard work. But I believe I'm the one who's getting the most out of this. How many of you really believe? How many of you would like to come in a competition with me to see who is getting the most out of My 365? I think it's me. Why? Because I'm the one who's really going to work on becoming the best version of myself. I want to be the most inspiring. I want to be the most knowledgeable, the wisest coach I can be. Not compared to other people, because that's not what my life is about. That's a fixed mindset when you compare yourself to others. But I want you to think about what it is that you want to master. And mastery is what you are doing when no one else is watching. So when you get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and you go to work on yourself, and something I haven't touched on this week, but I need to mention it again to all of you because I love you and I care for you, is many of you are setting yourselves up for knocking your confidence. It was Michelangelo that said, if people could see what I had to do to get to who I wanted to be, it wouldn't look so sexy. All the years learning, he lived for, I think, 10 years with stone cutters. And he watched and he learned and he got involved. And when people look at his great work, you think, well, how did that happen? It wasn't just the cutting of the stone that you see. It was all the cutting of the stone of all the other stones that he cut for years and years before that. Does that make sense? Because you're cutting the stone every single day. And in some cases, growth looks boring to some people. But one day you'll look back at all the little things that you did and realize you did it. You did it. You did it. Not me, not you. I might have helped you and other people helped you. But many of you're not doing yourself any disservice because you're saying you're going to do things and then you don't do them. And your brain remembers every time you did it. And I can tell you, this week for me has been pretty challenging for a few reasons. Challenging. But I've still, no matter how challenging it's been, made sure that I've stuck to my rituals. The things that I know that I need to do for me to be a better version of me. And some of you don't want to hear this, and that's fine. But for those of you that do want to listen to this, it's really time for you to choose that growth mindset. We also spoke about this week, which is really important for you guys to understand, which is about this thing, myelin. Seems like a lifetime ago that this week of me is myelin is what is around your nerve cells. It's like insulation. So if you only practice something once or twice, this can all leak out. Your intentions can leak out. But once you practice and practice and practice and practice and practice, you practice things, not until you get them right. You want to practice things until you can't get them wrong. And this is what this is. You want to go, it's called the training effect. If you go to the gym, you overload your muscles, you overwork your heart, and then what happens is to compensate, your heart or your muscles start to get a little bit bigger. It's the same with the nerves in your brain. This is what we want to create, loads of myelin, loads of myelin. Does this make sense? I really hope it does. I really hope it does. And then we look at things like quantum. We looked at fear this week and looked at a different way of looking at fear, which is face everything and respond. Face everything and respond. Face everything and respond. Even though it's not always easy. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is to do the easiest thing. Sometimes the most challenging thing to do is to do the thing that you're frightened of. You're not sure that you can do it, but the only way you're going to find out is by having a go. And then we looked at what we call quantum leaps. So we look at when we're making leaps. Again, it comes back. For me, you know, we want to make this leap. We don't want to do this work. We just want to jump here rather than, no, this is where you grow. This is when you grow. Does this make sense? I really appreciate everything. Face everything, respond. I love it. Thank you very much. Let's look at some of your comments. What has this week done for you? I felt that I have so much to do, but tackle one step at a time. Right, Michelle, you can only do one thing at a time. Michelle, do what you can. You've obviously got your hands full, judging by your avatar there, and having a couple of children. Got to face the fear. See, the fear in many cases is just what you're saying to yourself, you know, and we can say different things to ourselves. So what I'm asking you to do is to allow yourself to grow, to allow yourself to be coached, to allow yourself to be supported by other people. Because what happens to a lot of people is they consistently let themselves down by not living up to the things they say they're going to do. For me, a real growth mindset is being a person of your word to yourself. I really hope everyone has enjoyed this week and you have taken something away from it positively. I can see that same issue has occurred where most of you probably can't see, where it's a bit blurred on here, but the fact is that you can all hear me, right? The fact is you can all hear me. Because, you know, the time, I don't know whether there's something going on in the world right now. There obviously is, you know, the devastation that just happened in London. And, you know, that can affect people. And this is why we have to go to work on being the best possible version of ourselves. It's hard work, it's dedication, it's mastery. And maybe that's why only a few people in the world really genuinely do this. And I want all of you to look at yourself in the mirror today and ask yourself this fundamental question. Am I doing myself proud? You know, and in many cases, to do yourself proud is to accept yourself, accept your weaknesses, accept the fact that you're doing your best, but you know that you can do better. I look forward to seeing a lot of people's reflections. A lot of you are very inconsistent. And I'm only telling you this because I'm your coach. And if I was coaching you one-to-one and I said, look, I need to know from you every single week. I need to know, what have you learned? What have you achieved? What you're doing? I need to know that information from you. Many of you are very inconsistent in giving that information, which is fine. I'm not saying you necessarily have to give it, but at least write it down, because this is a journey. For many of you, sharing that information is giving other people the opportunity to see what it is that you're doing and maybe learn. But for me, one of the main reasons I ask you to record this is I want you to look back one day and realize just how far you have come. You know, if you do videos, to see one day looking back is something that Kate Caruth said a long time ago, and she's very consistent. Every Friday she makes a video just sharing what she's learned, what she's achieved, what she's going to do with it. But she'll look back one day and see. It's not really about what other people think about you. You know, people often say, oh, I don't like my voice, or I don't like, and then it's like, but hang on. What other people think about you, when you have a real growth mindset, real growth, you don't care what other people think about you. You just care about how you feel about yourself. If you want to change the way you feel about yourself, it takes time. It does take time. It takes constant effort. As Tony Robbins says, constant and never-ending improvement. So you can look back one day and say, look how far I've come. Look at the progress that I made. The easiest thing to do in life are often the easiest things not to do. I challenge all of you to show up and be the person that you want to be. I know many of you are extremely busy getting on with your life, and that's important because you've probably got many things that you want to achieve. Thank you so much for making this week amazing, for being who you are. You don't have to be here today, but there's something in you that is here because you want more. And I can't thank you enough. Debbie Virtue has turned up. Inconsistency is my, yes, but Debbie, you also know how to be unbelievably amazing, you know? No worries, Kate. You make your video whenever you want. Yeah, Joanne, and one day you will look back and be so proud. Look what I did. Look what I achieved. Look at who I became. Yeah, because Susie, you've put the hard work in, and you continue to put the hard work in. Thank you so much for all of you. This has been a really amazing week. And next week, we're going to look at a subject that we have looked at before, but a long time ago, which is about leadership. And for me, it's knowing that the most important person that you're leading in your life is you. You know, it's you. Mandy, you are amazing, and I'm so glad that you're around again, and you're here, and you're making positive changes and being amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this week. Choose that growth mindset and ask yourself today, what does growth really mean to you? How would you know that you were growing? Thanks very much, Casey. You inspire me, my friend. And, you know, for many of you, you're going to grow and grow and grow and grow and get better and better and better. And then you want to ask yourself, what's next? Because some of you maybe want to actually start helping other people. Maybe you already do. Thank you, Desi. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. No, we won't. Tomorrow's Saturday. We'll see you on Monday for a week on leadership. Look forward to hearing what you have learned and helping you continue to grow and be the amazing person that you are. Take care. Take action. Much love. Ciao, ciao.